Okay. That said quite a bit. Joining me now, CNN political commentator Michael Smerconish. He's also the host of CNN's Smerconish. Michael, always wonderful to have you. Thank you so much for being here. I feel like they did a great job showing. I mean, that kind of said it all. But I know you have some big picture thoughts about the Democratic National Convention, what you saw, what it's going to mean for the race going forward.
I've always loved, hello, Casey. I have always loved the roll call, and I'm dating myself. I mean, when it came to Kansas and it was Kansas Carry On Wayward Son, I'm like, wow, this speaks to me. Here's my big picture observation.
I'm kind of an old soul. Go ahead.
It brings back 8th grade memories. The Democrats are no longer ceding the flag. I have often commented that there's never been a response to Lee Greenwood's God Bless the USA. And by the way, I love that song. It gives me goosebumps. But Arlo Guthrie, This Land Is Your Land, which has usually been the Democratic response, has never worked. And what most stood out to me about the convention, big picture this week, because Casey, I've been a viewer, I've been afar, you're there in the thick of it, is the bid for patriotism. From Beyonce's Freedom to the chants of USA, USA, to the intonement of love of country. These are the sort of things that normally come with Republican convention. So much so that I have done radio segments where I've asked listeners, if you see an American flag outside of a home, do you presuppose you know the politics of the people? And many have said yes. Like, I get it. If it's a flag on the back of an F-150 and it's alongside some kind of reference to Brandon, it's probably a Trump supporter. But this convention, to me, said that Democrats are no longer going to cede the flag to the Republicans, and they want to cloak themselves in patriotism. And I love seeing it, because no one side ought to own the flag and patriotism.
For sure, Michael. And I mean, look, what do you think that means, and what do you think it says about how Kamala Harris wants to present herself to America? Because this was her night. I mean, she was able to choreograph every single moment of what went on here, basically, or at least try. And that's what they decided to go with.
Yeah, and I thought I have to give her props. I thought that she spoke last night with poise and with conviction. I took note of the fact that she had a message she wanted to deliver about the border. She had a message that she wanted to deliver about Israel and Gaza. Now, she's got to sustain this momentum when she's questioned, because it still rankles me, the idea that on the 8th of August, she was asked when she'd make herself available for an interview, and she said, I think I'm going to do that by the end of the month. By the end of the month, it was the 8th I said October, of August when she said it. So that is the next stage. And I know it's causing tremendous frustration on the part of former President Trump. He's like bursting at the seams, watching her ascendance at the time that she's not being questioned in detail on these issues. If she's not questioned in detail on these issues before, the debate, he's going to be like ready to pop. So that's what I want to see next.
Yeah, very interesting. Michael, we're going to expand this conversation out to include our panel. And one of the things that I think came up, especially right in the immediate aftermath of Harris's speech, was the contrast between her and Donald Trump and their speeches. I want to start by playing a little bit of what we heard from Donald Trump when he accepted his nomination. Let's watch.
They're emptying out their insane asylums. And terrorists are coming in at numbers that we've never seen before. Bad things are going to happen. But we become a dumping ground for the rest of the world, which is laughing at us. They think we're stupid. Our opponents inherited a world at peace and turned it into a planet of war.
I mean, the darkness on display there, Scott Jennings, a very stark contrast to what we saw from Harris last night.
Well, I mean, Trump's going to continue to make an argument that he did have everything under control and that he turned it over to people who've let everything spiral out of control. She's obviously going to counter message that. That's part of the but it's not just going to be about foreign policy or immigration. It's going to be right on the economy. And with Michael on here, I would just say for Pennsylvania, which is the pivotal state in the campaign, which of those issues is going to be the most important? I would argue it'll be the economic chaos that he says they've created the most. Don't you think?
Michael, that's to you.
So the question is one of, is the race going to be about personality? If it is, he loses. Or is it going to be about policy? And if it is, I think he probably wins, because when you look at the data and you ask people whether they appreciate more I'll say the Biden-Harris record or the Trump record, they look back favorably on the Trump years. But, he's got to rein in his worst instincts. He deviates too much from that script when he looks at the audience and thinks they're getting bored. Let's not forget the Republicans had a great convention. I thought they were note perfect, and so too the Democrats. So it's still up in the air. It's still margin of error. Who the heck knows the next twist in this road?
I've never seen an election won on yesterday, ever. Every election, and I'm only 39. I'll be 40 in a couple of weeks. Casey made me button my shirt up. So here I am.
We got 15 seconds before it looks great.
Whatever.
I don't know. It's a little high. This one, anyway.
Anyway, but what I will say is that I just think people are framing it wrong if they want to look back at the 4 years of Donald Trump or look back at the last 3.5 years. Donald Trump is a prisoner of being 78 years old, and he's unable to articulate a vision for the future.
All right. We got to leave it there, unfortunately. Michael Smerconish, always grateful to have you. Thank you so much for being here.